Welcome back. This is Fantastic Pains and How We Hide Them. I'm not Chris.
And I'm not Karina.
But we're here together.
As usual.
And we have a guest.
Introduce yourself, guest.
Hello. I'm Austin.
You there, guest boy.
Guest boy.
Yes, boy.
That joke hasn't been around for a minute. Dang,
Oh, yeah.
I like that one. I'm glad it's back now. Yes, this is Austin, and we've been promising you to the people for quite some time now.
It's true.
I'm glad to have you with us.
Emily and I talk about him all the time.
Well, yeah. It's just 'cause
No,
he's cool people.
never. I'm a stranger.
Totally strange.
We just pulled him off the street. He's another one of those, like, you there.
Bored, and I was like, hey, yo, you guys look cool.
He just wandered in off the street.
Just going through Discords, he found ours randomly and was like, sure, why not?
This one's good. I don't know.
Let's do it.
I want to make friends like that. I just want to like walk up to people and be like, hey, we're friends now.
I mean, that's kind of what happened.
Too bad.
We played Destiny together and but then that was it.
There you go.
We just found each other.
Bonding.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's a total accident.
It really was.
Just total coincidence. It just took off.
Yep. As most things seem to do when we let things
Mhm.
be. What are we going to talk about today? Because that's the real exciting part for me.
Well, we're going to talk about bipolarism.
Bipolarism.
That's because I opted in.
Bipartisanism.
I choose to be bipolar.
I identify.
It's not forced upon me in any capacity.
Chemically.
Austin, do you have experiences with being bipolar?
Yes, quite.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
It's not the most fun thing in the world, but you live with it, right?
Yeah.
True.
Well, and I'm excited to kind of be the interviewer today
Yeah.
because I do not have bipolar, which is
Ism.
oh my God, which is kind of where you and I like part ways in a couple of different places because we're like, yep, straight away.
I'm
got
just
it,
you if you
parallel.
decided to do cocaine.
Did you do cocaine?
No.
I didn't.
That's
think
the
so.
problem.
Oh, okay.
My eyebrow raised real fast on that one.
It's like you're me, but you did coke. What is
No.
happening?
If you took coke.
Well, there goes that monetization. Great,
great.
thank you.
It was a minute and we'll be fine. I drink Coke Zero. That's what I was talking about.
Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
cocoa powder,
Anyway.
Like, that's not
chocolate.
weird.
Oh, man, I'm hungry.
Before we can get to all of that, I do want to say a hello and welcome. If this is the first time you're joining us, this is Fantastic Pains. We are siblings who both have HEDS or hypermobility type, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, as well as quite a few other comorbid things
It's all
and
under the umbrella.
unrelated stuff. And yeah, it's fun. But we deal with it in quite the silly way of morbid, dark humor and
We
lots
podcast
of
it.
laughing. So,
Let's be very public about it. Let's make a podcast. It's fine.
right? We're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sick. Ha ha.
It's like
It's
Kaylee.
hilarious.
Anyway, where can they find us?
You can find us most places podcasts can be found, except for Apple.
Never Apple.
Never Apple.
It'll
Not
be
those
Apple
guys.
someday.
And if you're listening on one of those places, you can also find us on YouTube, where you can find all of the ridiculous faces that we make at one another and all of our props, like my friend Dooney here, who is a hedgehog, and our zebras, who I think we've decided what to name them finally. And I think we're going with, what was it, Sherbert and Greg?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sherbert. And Greg.
And Greg.
Greg's
And there
angry.
are little zebras. They're great. You can also find some of our silly stuff on TikTok. I love our TikTok. It's really just the best. Even if it was just for me, I would still be pleased. So
Yeah.
there's that. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Discord, which is where our lovely, wonderful community likes to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you can find a lot of really wonderful people with really great ideas, and just good humor and good camaraderie from fun people.
Mm-hmm.
So, did I miss anything?
No, that was it.
Fantastic. Awesome. We're on it, guys. All right. Before we can get into the meat of everything, it is time for the weekly recap.
Check in.
Check in.
Check in.
Hey. Someone did their research.
There you go.
This is the first time we've
It's
had
like
a
Harper.
guest who knows.
Yeah, right.
No.
Recap. Check in. Check in. Always check in.
Oh my God.
From the very beginning. And then we confused ourselves. It was great.
She means me. I confused myself.
It was still great. Where do we want to start?
I can do my week. It was easy.
Okay.
I did nothing all week. I had what's it? Paralysis.
Fatigue.
Well, I had fatigue, yes. But I had like event paralysis.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Like, you don't do things because you're waiting for something to happen.
Oh, okay,
Whatever it's called. I can't remember.
Whew.
I'm tired.
I was like, wait, you had what now? I think it is
foot
event paralysis.
Yeah.
But I was thinking along the line of the foot.
No, my
and I was waiting for you to tell me that, like, the leg is paralyzed now. And I was like, I thought I would notice, but maybe not.
No, my foot is numb still, but it's fine. No, I was been waiting for this dungeon to come out all week in Destiny. So I was like, do things to get ready for that. And then
stare at the computer and wait for time to pass.
Well, and fall asleep during gaming and make Austin's life just that much better.
Uh-huh.
Reliable.
Dude,
I felt so bad. I kept waking up and I was like running into the wall.
Oh no.
Yeah, he was running. I remember looking at him once and he was literally running for at least a solid 2 minutes straight in a corner.
Yep.
Constantly.
That's me. Good old pro gamer.
Nice. Well done.
I was like, you tired?
Yeah, dude. And
He didn't answer because he was sleeping.
I was asleep. Well, and every time you would talk to me, it would like make me jump and wake up for half a second. And then I'd be like, okay, I'm awake now. Like the adrenaline hit. Nope.
Not enough.
No.
It is not enough.
But yeah, I had horrible fatigue
Oh my God.
all week.
I can relate to that. The fatigue was really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday after graduation, watching all of my kids walk and stuff, and it was sad and great and wonderful. And then I was really tired. Then I came home and you were like, are we going to do a live? And I was like, I do not think so, but I'm going to take a nap and then we'll see. And then it was almost 8 o'clock when I woke up.
Yeah. Well, I took a nap too. I was like, that's a good time to rest.
Yes. I was very tired. And I called it was like my hibernation, but on like hysteria mode. It was great. Oh yeah. And I have weird pain. I don't know what's happening to me and I don't really like it and I don't really know what it is. So bear with me as I try really hard to explain it. So it's starting like up here in my neck on either side. And then it runs down into like my collarbone and my chest and does this like crazy T cross.
Yikes.
And it's like a really weird, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a prickly, but like super deep pressure pain. And I don't even know. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. But it hurts and I don't like it and it feels weird. And then when it started, it like came on all of a sudden and it was just like locking up. So everything was locking up through my chest and in my neck. And I was out and I was like, okay, I don't know what the heck to do here. And so I was like trying to pop my chest because I thought that would help. And that just, everything just, yeah, I just pushed on it a little bit and it's starting again. It's so weird. I have no idea what's happening.
It hurts when I do this. Watch me do it.
Well, I'm trying to figure it out. So I'm going to explore it, okay?
Yeah, no, fair.
Yeah. I have no clue. No clue what that is. No idea.
Yeah.
This is one full week of craziness. There are 2 extra people living in my house right now.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yes. And it's a week today.
It's a week, yeah.
So that's been fun. And so I was like emotionally exhausted and then physically exhausted. And I think I was out on... No, okay. So I went to work on Monday, then came home to work from home. Tuesday, I texted my boss and I was like, I'm going to try to work from home, but maybe I won't, but I'm definitely not coming in. And so I took Tuesday off. I went in part of Wednesday and then cried. I was there for like 2.5 hours and still just couldn't do it. I
Classic.
just was like, yeah, it's fine. Let me just cry. It's awesome. I had to deal with some insanity from other people who just say the wrong things to me sometimes, where I'm like, that fell out of your face and now I don't know that I can look at you the same way
Oh, I hate that.
ever again. And also I'm like viscerally disgusted and upset by that and a little personally offended.
Fair.
There's a lot of that going around. And then we just ended in like crazy fatigue. So I went in Thursday I went in late. I did not do a full day this week.
Yeah.
I was just too disrupted and dysregulated and I couldn't do it. But I was like, I can't because I'm not okay. And they were all like, it's okay. You can be not okay.
It's okay.
Do you. But yeah, so now we're here.
And now we're here.
I lived. It's, yeah. Stuff and things.
You lived.
I did live.
All right. Austin, what was your week like?
Well, I saw Megadeth.
Oh, yeah, that was
Hey!
I went to go to a show. I broke my neck in the process.
Mosh
Banging
pit.
way too hard.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
It was like mosh pit.
Dude, he was so amped.
No.
Like,
Could
when
never
we got
do a
on the
mosh
call
pit.
after that, you were in it. It was great.
Well, yeah.
I was so in it. 4 bands. It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Besides that, basic week. Went really quick.
It did.
Just work.
Lots of work.
Yeah.
Work.
I'm almost done.
There's a finish line.
I'm almost done. I have like 2 more days to do. So I have Tuesday and Wednesday to do, and then I'm done. Finished for the summer, but not really. I'm done for a little while, and then I have to go back in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to get into it?
Sure. Where do you guys want to start? So intro our topic a little bit.
I was trying to figure out what to say earlier, and I was like,
It's weird because it's like, it's not something you and I share ground on, so it's hard to like
articulate,
telepathize.
Well, not just that. I don't know what's what anymore.
Okay,
what's
that's
depression, anxiety, or bipolar moments?
Well, I was going to say, so one of the first questions that I thought of was like pre-diagnosis, did you have an inkling that there was like more going on?
Nope.
Than just like depression?
Nope. I mean, people had suggested it, but I reacted really poorly to it.
Well, yeah,
I was
because
like,
it's very
I'm not
stigmatized.
bipolar. What do you mean? How dare you? Now I'm going to freak out and have a manic episode. I'm going to be very bipolar at you.
Yeah.
Because you
really
said that.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Austin, how about you? Did you have like an idea that there was more to it? Pre-diagnosis?
Kind of slightly, but I didn't really question it.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm gonna be me, whatever.
That's fair. Because I think there is an element of like, you assume your experience is common.
Yeah.
And like shared among people.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're like, maybe I'm just really bad at handling the same things that other people deal with all the time. Instead of like...
Because I'm a softie.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a big part of it at first.
Oh.
Yeah.
But no, now that I'm older, I understand what it is.
It's
Okay.
true. He's good at calling it out too.
Yeah. I was going to say, how long ago, for both of you, same question, how long has it been since diagnosis?
Oh yeah, how long have you known?
2 years.
Okay, so it's kind of new to you too then, because I'm at like a year now.
Yeah.
No, 2 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, you knew before we started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 2 years because it was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
There you go.
Bipolar bros.
Bipolar
Yes,
bros.
sir.
They're the bipolar bears. I don't know.
Stop trying to turn it into a commercial success. Bipolar is not going to get sold on the shelves. I'm sorry.
Bears.
The bipolar bears.
Pandas. Sorry, that was not right. Okay, so it's been about 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow. What was the journey of acceptance like? How did that come about?
You go first.
At first, since I had already had it in thought a while ago,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just accepted it. I was like, okay, well, I guess that's just some things I'm gonna have to take into consideration, right?
Yeah.
Be aware of it, learn to control it. Because when I went to see my doctor, when he gave me the diagnosis, he told me, you're young, it's easy to control for now, but once you're older, it could get out of hand and you'll have to take meds for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I've been on that.
I was like, okay, that's fine. As long as there is a way to control it and it doesn't get out of hand, I'm fine with it. You know?
Right. Well, and knowing what to look for as you get older.
Dude, if I knew when I was your age, my whole life would have been a lot different.
Well, because when did you start really breaking down? When did the bipolar really present itself?
From age 20 to 27.
Okay.
That was when it was the most intense.
Yeah.
It was out of control.
Yeah.
And to answer the question, I accepted it instantly. It made sense.
Yeah.
We went over the diagnosis. Yeah. She talked about what it was, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, no, that's it."
I think that part makes a difference too. Is understanding the criteria.
Yeah.
And not just having it be a label that someone threw at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, she walked me through it.
Yeah.
And we did it again last week.
Yeah.
I had to do the reeval.
She had to reaffirm.
Yeah. Still bipolar.
Still bipolar. No, okay, so tell me a little bit more about the criteria. What are the types, first of all, and what are the differences?
Well, there's 1 and 2.
Okay.
2 is Manic Depression. So you have long lows. You'll have super depression for more than a day.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's up to a week or longer. Maybe it's 3 days and on. I don't remember.
Okay.
I should have done my research, but I didn't.
It's an average of 5 days.
Okay, see, that makes sense, yeah. And then there's bipolar 2, which has manic highs and manic lows.
Mm-hmm.
So I it sucks that I'm on the Abilify because it evens me out. So I don't get the manic highs anymore. They were really fun. It is. I'm sorry. It's just nice to be happy.
I'm a 1. I'm a type 1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
We're both up and down.
Yeah, that's fair.
Crazy mood swings.
Yep.
And you're either totally focused or completely out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah. It's weird.
No, I guess that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you've gotten good at calling it out. There are days that I'll be sitting there randomly and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling super down. And he's like, oh, you had a swing. And I was like, oh, yeah, huh? Yeah, being bipolar, can't help it.
I can call myself out too.
Mm-hmm.
I could be in the best mood, super feeling great, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm gonna kill somebody.
Oh no.
But you're really good at seeing it. Especially just at your age.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to I had a lot more experience with the highs and lows, so I was able to kind of pinpoint it.
Right.
But he has a smaller frame of reference and he can do it.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
But also I don't know, we spent more time around the stigmatized version of what that meant.
Yeah.
And that the media presentation is not accurate.
No.
At all. And so that's the stigma, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the label that gets thrown at people. And so of course you're not considering bipolar when you're going through these things that don't match what
what you
commonly presented.
Yeah. Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
I think I was Austin's age when someone suggested it.
Oh wow.
And I got really offended. You seem like you're bipolar and you have a connective tissue disorder. No.
Also, go away.
No, they called it out. It was Ben's parents. When I was living with them, they called both of them out, and I was like, can't be.
They knew about the connective tissue disorder?
Yeah, she had me start doing stuff to take care of the joints.
Wow. I didn't even hear the words connective tissue disorder until way later. It was probably 2016, 15, 16. Yeah. So it was a while longer than that. That's crazy.
But yeah, she nailed it.
Wow. We need to get her flowers or something. I don't know.
No shit.
You're like, hey, good job.
I think about it a lot.
Remember that time.
Remember that time you were absolutely right?
Thanks for letting me live with you guys for a year and make me normal.
Right.
And deal with me being bipolar and a
training
trauma
us
being...
how to not be PTSD mode all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang. That's crazy. So what were I don't know. I want to say, like, what are the hardest symptoms to deal with? But it sounds like the dips, like the lows, would obviously be the hardest to deal with. But
yeah, because I call it the spectrum scale. It's like there's no in between. You're either on either end of the spectrum. You can balance it both at the same time.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't work like that.
That's and that's the thing with bipolar 1, I think. Yeah, where you can have an emotion and be expressing the opposite.
Oh yeah,
whatever. I can't remember what it's called.
It's like incongruity.
Yeah.
In God, there's a bunch of terminology that I know just from Sped World.
Yeah.
But it essentially is that, like, you have inappropriate reactions or
like when I went to go laugh that one day and I cried.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I was there.
That was so weird.
Oh no. See, and
I was at work the other day, and I was in a great mood. We were having a good day. Everything was going smooth. And then I don't know, I think I knocked my elbow or something. And then I instantly was, like, furious. I was, like, total opposite side of the spectrum. I was bitchy for the rest of the evening.
I like how it was just a little
And then
thing.
I came home, and I was like, what? What did I do?
At least you're able to be, like, retrospective about it.
Yeah. I mean, that makes a huge difference, especially,
I call myself out a lot.
Yeah. And like Chris said, like, at your age, there were so many things that, like, we can look back on now and make sense of.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, us in the middle of it, we couldn't see the forest through the trees.
Right.
So it's very, very interesting that you were able to, like, adapt to that so quickly and so efficiently. I complimented him, and now he doesn't know what to do. Oh, God. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
I forget that other people are like us as well. We're like, just don't.
I like
don't
complimenting him. I'm like, I love you. And, you know.
That's not a compliment. That's a fact.
Oh.
Cringe. Just kidding.
Yes. Well, and it's interesting because, like...
I have a thought.
Oh, yeah. Go.
Well, I find it really interesting how quickly and easily Chris and I bonded at the get-go. And I think it has a lot to do with us both being bipolar because we understand each other a lot.
Like instantly.
And we often have these random conversations about how we are and stuff. And it's heartwarming to know that there's other people like that because I don't know anyone else besides my dad that's bipolar.
Yeah. Well, and that generation was not a great representation of how to manage your mental health.
Do you remember when you told me, like, that you were bipolar and I got super excited? Like, had the wrong fucking reaction to that.
Because I never really tell anybody.
Yeah.
And then I was like, he has it. Why can't I tell him?
Well, I don't think I talked about it yet. Because I remember I was like, are you actually, like, diagnosed bipolar? And you're like, yeah. And I was like, yes! Dude, so am I.
You should have seen him. He sounded like a little kid in a candy store.
Sorry, it's awesome.
That's me every time I find a zebra.
Yeah.
When I'm out and about and I'm like, oh my God, you have what I have.
Yeah.
We're best friends now. You don't even know it.
Yeah. I remember in the beginning, like, people would be like, what was it? Jen was like, he's so up and down, man. I can't tell with him. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, it seems normal to me.
This is just
well, the thought
things.
processes make sense to me. Like,
Yeah.
Nothing seemed whiplashy to me. I'm just like, okay, cool.
That's so interesting.
I get it.
Well, and I think I had a trauma lens when, like, you and I would talk about emotionality, right?
Yeah.
And the trauma lens, I think, blurred the lines between what was trauma and what was depression and what was the bipolar, and made it really hard to, like, differentiate anything. And so I don't think bipolar crossed my mind until you were like, hey, yeah, I'm bipolar. It's like,
hey, by the
way. Interesting.
Left it on the table.
Yeah. Well, and that's how I roll.
Yeah.
Just here, have this. I have the bipolar.
Yeah. That's me in Summer all the time, too.
Yeah.
Because now she's like, I really think it's dysautonomic, because she and I will be like, ugh, I don't feel good. What's happening? And then the weather. Mm-hmm. And so she's starting to track it and then track me at the same time. And so she's tracking me and the weather and, like, the whole thing. She's like, I think I have that. I'm like, you probably do, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. So how long have you guys been friends?
Oh, man.
It's gonna be a year and 2 months, Chris.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't seem like it was that long. Like,
no.
At the same time, I feel like we've been friends forever.
But
Yeah.
It's like when I think back on, like, everything, it doesn't feel like it's been that long.
Well, and when I think about it, like, you guys were really fast friends.
Yeah.
Because I can remember, like, you talking about Austin on the podcast early days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fast friends. That's crazy.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, we bonded really quickly.
Yeah.
All because of a video game. Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah.
But didn't you know those are bad?
Oh, totally.
So bad. So bad.
So bad for you.
There's no social interaction at all.
It's not healthy. It's bad for your brain,
no
guys.
team building, nothing. So I'm trying to find a way to word, because I was curious about...
Okay.
What?
I was going to say, just be brutal if it's...
No. It's a curiosity,
tact?
but I'm trying to find, like, how I want to wrap the question in.
Okay.
So you say, like, the thought processes make sense to you.
Yeah.
So you don't see the, like, quick shifts. But you do, but you reason through them.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, when we're playing and we play with dumb people,
Mm-hmm.
which happens a lot, because we have to be social with other characters sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, they'll do something really stupid, and then I'll get super irritated, but I don't verbalize it.
Uh-huh.
But then Austin will also be super fucking irritated, and he's vocal about it.
Oh, good.
Oopsies.
You don't have to
Just
apologize.
means he's not alone.
Oh man, it's nice. It just makes sense to me because I'm following along, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
Interesting. Yeah. No, that's kind of fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's just really interesting because it's not something that I like. I want to say like have a lot of like contact with or around or about. Like I have a vague understanding of it and how to work with students who have it.
Right.
And have for a long time, but like the specifics were never something that I like wanted to ask because it's still so stigmatized, and especially with kids, the kids I'm working with, they don't want to talk about it or admit to other people that they have it.
Yeah.
And so you try really hard not to pry, but I'm like endlessly fascinated and curious because
right.
I'm curious about everything.
Yeah. One of the first things I said to Jen, this is before we knew that we were both bipolar, was that I just get him. I remember her being like, why are you guys so close? I'm like, I don't know. I just get it. It makes sense to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They're literally double his age. What's going on here?
Well, you get along with older people too, like just in general.
Yeah, I don't like younger people.
That's the trauma speaking.
I don't like people my age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very true.
Yep. That's the trauma part. Where
Yeah.
you're like, people my age are stupid.
Exactly.
They're not traumatized enough for me to be friends with. That's how I felt in high school.
Yeah.
Didn't know it was that, but yeah. It's just interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So now, how do you go about differentiating any of it, or at this point are you just like it's one or the other? Like it's you have a vague idea of what the factors are, but not the specifics.
Yeah, it's more like that for me.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Like, I can maybe give you a few, but it's not like all of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird. Like, it's just a lot of retrospection, really. Because in the moment, if you can't identify it, like, it's happening to you.
Right.
And you're just
Well,
in
it's just reality.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like when you don't catch it. You'll later think on it and be like, oh, that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
That was clearly not depression or anxiety. That was just me being bipolar. Like,
okay.
Like another one that Chris and I do a lot is you just randomly start talking very excessively.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The over chattiness.
And I usually catch myself. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. Like when you just start like going and going and going and going, it's random. It just shoots you on that side of the spectrum, and you can just go on.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a talkative person, it just happens.
Yeah.
It's weird.
No, I mean, it makes sense in a weird way. Like, I'm trying to, like, find things to liken it to. And I need to clarify for everyone watching and for Austin as well. It's not because I'm trying to do the one-uppy thing. It's because I'm trying to find something to relate through, like, an avenue of understanding. But, I mean, that part makes sense to me. Like, the kind of the high highs, because I get that way, but only with people.
Oh, yes.
So I get, like, the high highs with people.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
That's why I like hanging out with Austin all the time.
Yeah.
It just puts me in a good
mood. Would you consider yourself an extrovert or an introvert?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm an introvert, but I'm really good camouflage, I guess.
No, you're...
Okay, see, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm such an introvert, but I can be super outgoing. It's weird.
I can be outgoing if I like the people and I trust the people.
Yeah.
But I also am like, once I've entered my house, everyone go away. Stop existing for a little while.
Right.
I need to be alone. Like alone. Don't look at me. Don't think about me because you're making my brain itch. Just But I don't know. Like certain people, I think it's like that dopamine rush for me, at least.
Yeah.
But then on like the mania side, like I get manic, but my manic always comes from a different place. And it's always like,
well, yeah,
I'm gonna stall.
It's not like we have the like corner on it. Like we're bipolar, only we know what mania is.
No, it's just interesting how it like comes about differently.
Oh, totally.
Because when I'm manic, generally I'm stalling.
Oh, yeah.
And then my husband's like, quit it and go to bed. And I'm like, never.
No, man, when I'm
What is sleep?
Yeah.
Never met her.
I used to. Oh, this is like pre medication days.
Okay.
I used to switch everything up. You've seen it. Like,
yes, I remember and I recall you would like get all manic and then you were rearranging furniture.
Oh, totally. Like
every single time. Mm-hmm. Furniture was like the go-to.
Oh, totally. I wanted a new space. I wanted a new comfy zone.
And it provided clean house, hurt body too.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Oh.
You were like, let me injure myself real fast.
Let me be angry, and then I'm going to move everything around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would move rooms all the time. Like, we'd switch rooms with the kids.
Or build computers or rearrange Frankenstein computers.
Oh, yeah. Man, I was doing that a long time ago.
Yeah.
That started in my teenage days. Mm-hmm. Shoot.
See, now I know what it like looks like.
Yeah.
And I can identify it. But, well, and now I'm good at asking you and being like, okay, you have a plan to move things around. Is this a plan that you thought through?
Yes.
Or is this the urge to move things?
Usually now I'm doing it because it's practical, like in here.
Yeah.
It worked out so nice. Our studio looks so nice now.
Mm-hmm.
If only we could agree. Looks pretty nice.
Yeah. Stuff. With our short, like 10-second video at the end of an episode. This is what it looks like.
Ta-da! Yep. Now, Austin, what does it look like for you in the mania?
When the mania beckons.
When she calls.
Well, constantly racing thoughts, maybe. Like, constantly overthinking.
Yeah.
I can be very on edge. Like, hostility.
Is that like the sense of impending doom? Is that where that lives too?
Kinda.
Or is that like
So
between
you
the
get paranoid really easily.
Yeah.
And you can be like very on guard, always on the defense.
Oh yeah.
But on other days, you can just like totally not give a shit. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You could be. So this happens to me a lot, certainly at work. I feel like I always hear my name being called.
Oh, interesting.
Like it's just always delusion about my name being called. Sorry, I'm always turning around. I'm like, did you call my name? And then they always give me that same face.
Dude, I do the same thing. I'm always
the rock face with the eyebrow.
The people's
like,
eyebrow.
what?
Dude, yeah. I have never connected that. I still get that.
Okay, that's really interesting because if I'm in a space where A, there's a lot of noise, or B, there's like
no noise,
I get either I'm like hearing people whispering or I hear like I'm being called.
Same.
But usually it's like distance.
Yeah.
Or if I'm like doing something with headphones in and I expect to hear my name,
right,
then I'm always listening for it and then everything sounds like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's really interesting.
It's weird. Huh. It's like it's the little things that you catch after a while when it starts to get excessive. You're like, why does this happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that plays in the delusional effect plays into the constantly racing thoughts and always having something going on through your head, no matter what you're doing.
Mm.
Like I was reorganizing the fridge at work yesterday, and I was just like constantly thinking about the day before and my job and how I can improve and stuff. And it's just constantly rolling.
I remember those days.
Like perseveration.
Yeah.
Where you just like latch onto the one thing and you just mull it over and over and over.
Oh, totally. But it's like multiple things all at the same time. They're all mulling.
Ah, okay.
And they all seem important at the time. Like in your head.
Yeah. But since I have so much going on at once in my head, I find often myself at work telling myself, where was I going? What was I going to do?
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you
Everyone
have ADHD
hears me say
too?
this every day. It's weird.
Do you have ADHD also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
I actually am now an ADHD boy.
Indeed.
Like, it's an official. Yeah.
Yes.
It's weird.
I mean, you were before, but you
I
are
was adjacent.
official now.
I was neuroadjacent.
You were adjacent for a while. He's joined the party.
Yeah, I'm on board now.
Yep. See, because I'll do the like mulling multiple things over, but usually it's like, I don't know, like I'll take something in hand and like, I think it used to be a lot worse where I could almost obsess about things or just roll them over and overthink. But now, because I have like the weird energy budget mindset, I'll take something, mull it over for a second and be like, can we do something? Yes, cool, let's do the thing. Or no, cool, we got to abandon it.
Yeah.
And so I wind up abandoning things before I can overthink on them.
Yeah.
Which can be really frustrating if I'm actually trying to find a solution to something and I'm like really thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I keep abandoning it because the brain is like, nope, we're done. We're done. I don't want to think about it anymore. Put it away. I'm like, but I need that. I need to know.
Yeah. The mania is like that. Just you don't get to push it away.
Yeah.
And it like for me especially, it feels super urgent.
Okay.
Like whatever it is that I'm like focusing on, I need to get it done like right away. Like I feel like someone's pressuring me to do it.
Yeah.
Even
you're on like a time crunch.
Right. And there's no pressure. Huh. It's just all in my head.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay. Now what about like the low lows? Because I know what like low you is like for the most part, and like where you're like, I have the sads now.
Yeah. The lows. Oh my god.
I
hate the lows. The lows suck.
Yeah, we like Home Depot. We hate Lowe's.
Oh my
god. The lows. Where do I start? The lows often happens when I'm alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just in my own headspace. And sometimes, overthinking comes into play, and then I start to be like, Austin, why do you do this? Why do you do that? Why are you like this? And then I'm like, am I a bad person? And it just mulls over again.
Yeah, all the deprecation and criticism.
But when I'm down, like Chris can tell right away. Like I get like really quiet.
Yeah.
I lose my focus. I often tear up for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, I've been there. Oh my god. There's that time Zeffy tore me apart, and I was like bawling.
Oh my god, I remember that.
Fuck, man. He hit me at the wrong like sensitive point at the wrong time. I was just like, oh no.
I often find when I'm in my lows, I'm like not hungry. I'm super tired. And I just feel like garbage in general.
Yeah.
Right?
I had that happen the other day. Like yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, and I wondered because I was like, I know he wants to talk to people, but I can't.
No, I made a giant issue out of something that's not an issue.
Oh.
But it wouldn't stop like playing in my head on repeat.
Mm-hmm.
While I was trying to do other things and focus on other things. Like, so Pedro, he unfriended me on Steam.
Okay.
And I was like, but why though? Like, I get that you were pissed about the raid thing, but
that was ages ago.
Yeah. And Steph just left the clan like yesterday. I don't like it.
Really?
Yeah, like they're family. Why are they being weird about this shit? And it would not stop playing over and over again. I'm like, stop. It's not a big deal. But it is. But it's not. It's not.
Huh.
But it is though.
But it is though. I mean, it's that like trying to find the one key answer thing.
Yeah.
And that I can kind of relate to because especially with people and how people behave, I can relate to that piece because, like, I get people.
Yeah.
And if I don't get something, I'm like, now I'm confused and I must have missed a piece and now I have to backtrack through all of this information that I've collected over so much time to figure out where I went wrong. Or are they just out of their head? Like, what is going on here?
That was me yesterday.
Like, I had a coworker just say like the most. Did I tell you about this? Oh no. Well, it started out as like venting, and this is someone who has been like getting kind of increasingly more paranoid as time had gone on.
Right.
And there were a lot of like outside factors and whatever. But then it turned into like not just venting about work and like how that was or how management is or how that is, right? Then it turned into like being really weird and paranoid about the kids.
Oh.
Like really weird and paranoid about the kids. And then turned into like calling the children slurs. And then I was like, I'm sorry, what conversation am I having here? Because now I am lost and confused and disgusted and sad and horrified all at the same time. And I don't understand.
Shit.
Yeah. So I was like, I understand people and I have understood this person up until this point, and now you lost me.
Yeah.
You lost me right there, and now I have no idea what's happening anymore.
Well, you can't come back from that.
No. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, you can say whatever you want to me or about me, but like, don't come at my kids.
Yeah.
It'll be a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that was the thing that happened this week. I'll give you more details to like off of record, but I don't want to like throw anybody under the bus or get too specific. But it was just ugly and weird, and it's annoying because I do understand people.
Yeah.
And then when I don't, I'm frustrated.
You have that too, Austin, right? Like reading people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what it's like.
Right? When you're like, I understand everything about everybody. Or you think you do, or you tell yourself you do.
That's why I was always like inspired with psychology and stuff.
Yeah.
And why that's my backup plan.
Yeah.
If anything's wrong.
Because
I understand these things at a young age, which is great.
Yeah.
And I'm able to pinpoint stuff and like consider myself in other people's shoes. Mm-hmm. I've always been good at problem solving with people.
Yeah.
So
what did I call it the other day?
Enjoy a lot.
Called it like our hyperactive sense of empathy.
Oh yeah.
We have it's the overactive sense of empathy. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. But
OSEP.
Yeah.
Overactive sense of
There you go. Now you have a new acronym.
Awesome.
Welcome. Because I was talking to the licensed therapists the other day, and no matter what conversation we're having, I'm either on the exact same page they are or ahead of them.
Yeah.
In conversation, and then people look at me and they're like, "Why didn't you go into psychology?" I was like, "I don't know."
Because I like kids.
Apparently, I made the wrong choice. I don't know. But I like kids. I like them quite a lot.
Yeah.
And even when I'm having a bad day, I tell the kids, I'm like, it's not about you. And you're not who I'm frustrated with. And I could do the kids all day long forever. Mm. It's the adults that I have a hard time with.
Yeah.
Because they're stupid.
Because they're dumb.
Not specifically my adults, just adults in general. People who think themselves grown are stupid.
All high and mighty.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're like, you don't know any better than anyone else what you're doing with yourself or your life. So stop it. Mm-hmm. Stop lying.
Yeah.
You're making people freak out.
Exist.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, we're adults. We have it figured out. And you're like, no. No one has it figured out. And if you think you do, you need to re-examine your life. Just saying. That was Karina's direct. I don't know where we are anymore.
She needed to say it.
Apparently, I have feelings, and I don't know that I have feelings until I'm talking about them.
That's what this is for.
Pretty much. That's how it goes, too. Because I'm so go with the flow, just generally. Yeah. And nothing rocks my boat until I sit down to think about it. And then I'm like, that was so awful. Why? Why did I have to deal with that? Because in the moment, it's easy. It's all decisions.
Yeah.
It's all you make a call and then you make the next call and then you make the next call. But when there's nothing to be done about it,
yeah,
that's where I'm like, okay, I guess throw it out the window and find something else to do.
Yeah. It's like anti-bipolar.
Pretty much. I just abandon things. It's so weird though, because people are like, you're not dealing with your issues, and I'm like, I forgot I had issues.
Isn't that the goal?
I don't know what you want me to say. I felt a way, yes, but then I didn't, and then I didn't come back to it because I forgot about it.
Yeah,
but I'm running from my problems. I don't know. I was trying to figure this out too the other day because, Austin, I don't know if you know or if you could relate to this in any way. My pain psych was you don't feel your feelings, you rationalize them. Because
oh boy.
I like to take them and examine them and be like, why did that rock me?
Right.
Uh-huh.
And then when I figure out why and I understand myself, I feel better.
Yeah.
And then I'm done with it. But apparently that's not the way.
That only happens to me when I'm on the good side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's like we're
able to break everything down and just dissect everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
Yeah. Because I'm I want to understand me. If I understand nothing else in the world, I want to understand me.
Right.
And my motives and why I do the things that I do and why I react the ways that I do.
Yeah.
And if I can understand me, then I feel safer in the world and the universe, and I feel like there's more, I don't know, solid foundation. Yeah. And then from there, I'm good.
No, I get that.
That made me feel gross. How come?
I do that with the podcast. When we go, when I'm editing now and I'm rewatching everything.
Yeah.
Because I'll remember how I'm feeling when we talk about certain things. And then I'm always like, but why?
Oh.
But why, though? Why did that bother you?
Yeah.
But it's not like critical. That's the like. It doesn't have to be critical.
No.
Of yourself or your reactions.
No.
It's just a like.
I just
general
want to know why.
Curiosity.
Yeah. Like, why did that bother me? What about that?
Right. What about that? Like, rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
And usually I'm like quick on the draw. Like the whole like. I was pissed at my husband for running up the stairs one day.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was on crutches. And I was like...
You ableist bitch.
You asshole. You moved fast. You dick.
I did that to Jen. I do that to Jen every time I'm recovering from surgery. Yeah. I'm like, oh, look at you walking around on your legs.
Fucking... How dare you walk away from me? We're having a conversation and I can only move at the speed of dark.
Oh, look at you. Your back doesn't hurt. Where's the crippling pain, Jen?
Yes. Like, I'm good
at me once and I felt so bad.
Oh my God, no.
I wasn't being serious. I was teasing.
What did you say?
He was like, you being all healthy and going to work and stuff. And I was like,
I was proud of you. I wasn't being facetious.
If it makes you feel better.
Same tone. I was like, and you weren't feeling good that day.
Yeah.
I was like,
If anything, I said it because I was sad that you were leaving.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, look at you going to work, being an adult.
And leaving me here all by myself.
Yeah.
With my feelings.
Leaving
my pain.
I'm just going to sit here and wait.
Cry at the door.
At the door?
At the door. I'm going to cry at the door like a dog.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
See, and I'm like, I don't know. I get a lot out of being with people, but it takes a lot to get me to be around people.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I love my solitude. I love it. I've been with my spouse for like 13 years, and I love my solitude.
Yeah.
And then everything else, I'm like, ew, gross. I have to do stuff and things, meh. And then I go and I have a great time. But
this is something that I'm just now thinking about. Well, it's like I have on the bipolar scale. I have leave me the fuck alone and don't acknowledge my existence, or why aren't you touching me?
Oh yes, yeah.
So it's really confusing for
me.
Yeah.
It's like,
remember how I put it the last time? It was like, don't be soft with me.
Yeah.
Don't look at me. Don't think about me, but also hold me.
Exactly. Jen has the hardest time figuring out what I need sometimes because I'm like, sit next to me, but don't think about me.
Don't acknowledge my existence.
Why aren't you helping me?
But long for me fondly.
Yeah.
In your head.
She has it rough.
Don't even look at me.
Poor Jen.
Yeah, I remember one time I was hanging out with Jordana, right?
Yeah.
We were just hanging out at her place, and I was tired. So I'm like, I'm going to take a nap, okay? She was like, sure. I think it lasted 4.2 seconds. I was like, cuddles. What cuddles?
Give cuddles.
She was like,
now.
we wanted to take a nap. And I was like, cuddles.
Cuddles. Exactly.
I will cuddle and then nap while cuddle.
So bad. She was like, what do you want?
Everything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I want all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Action.
Yeah.
I've gotten better at that part, like identifying my own needs.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I really, really struggle, is like, because everything is about everybody else's needs all the time.
Yeah.
And so, and I do it to myself and I acknowledge that part. And like, then people are like, how do I meet your needs? And I'm like, what needs? I have no idea what you're talking about. What are needs? I don't need anything. Just, I'm a potato. Remember, you can practically neglect me and I will still grow.
So, I had the worst thought just now.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm excited.
It was very rude. It was an intrusive thought.
Still excited.
You said, you were talking about your needs, and I'm like, well, we need to go to...
Blah, blah, your needs.
Shut up. Let me get to it. I was waiting for a point to say we need to go on break. And I was literally going to go, blah, blah, your needs. It's time for break. But I didn't do it, and I'm glad I didn't.
But I got there. It's still funny. It's fine.
Good job, Chris. High five.
Yay!
Everything is awesome. Okay. Austin, do you know what they need to do on break?
You need to check their Teespring merch.
Oh,
yes, you
good
do.
plug.
There you go. Yeah. You also need to drink some water.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Eat some food.
Yep. Take some meds. Not some meds. Your meds. Yours. The ones prescribed to you.
Take them when needed. So follow the instructions. I'm not a
I was
mortician.
like, just take some. I don't know. Just...
Take a healthy walk.
My coworker.
Oh, yeah, a walk would be good.
Yeah, do that. My coworker said that I need a collapsible shot glass that I can pour my meds into and just take them that way.
The cup thing.
Exactly. So yes. So take your meds if you've forgotten. Go for a walk. Yeah, that's a great
Really good one.
Especially if it's nice outside.
Mm-hmm.
Wear sunscreen.
The sun is a deadly laser.
Do your chores. I don't know.
Well done. Do your chores. Yes. You know what? Cleaning can be self-care. I'm with it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
All right. We're going to go do some of those things, and we will see you guys in a little bit. Take care.
Oh, yeah.
Bye-bye. Fantastic Pains now has merch. I know we've been promising it for a while, but it is here. You can find our stuff at fantastic-pains.creator-spring.com. We have t-shirts, hoodies, leggings, wine coolers, I guess you can call them, and my very favorite backpack. So take a minute, go check us out.
Welcome back. How was your break? Ours was pretty good.
It was.
We went outside, almost had a cat fight.
Not us. Like, there were cats.
I mean, I was catty, but...
We're literal cats outside.
Yeah, and my cat met the neighbor cat. It was very exciting.
Yes. No one died.
Exciting.
It was a good time.
There were no deaths this
time. The standard.
All right, so what are we going to do for the second half? More questions? Do you have more questions?
I'm sure I could come up with more questions, but I think it's really interesting to hear you guys just with the introspection. And I was kind of talking about what did I say outside? That I was just like endlessly fascinated by the God, words are hard, sorry. By the crossover on all these spectrum disorders. So neurodivergencies in and of themselves have a lot of crossover. Yeah. Which I just find fascinating.
Yeah. Well, it pisses me off though. Because you get people who think that things are overdiagnosed and overlabeled. Because you get one, now you have to have all the titles. You know what I mean? You're collecting diagnoses.
Oh, yes. But we've kind of touched on that before where people are like that, right?
Yeah.
Where they're I need everything named. Everything has to have its medical name and it has to be in my file and like costochondritis.
Right.
Which is literally, it's just an inflammation of your cartilage in your chest. But costochondritis, it sounds really dire.
Yeah.
But then you I don't know, is it different in the mental emotional range? Because I feel like the game is to collect as few as possible. Yeah. Right?
Because I would say certainly for this generation that has sparked a lot amongst the children that we have today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that spark definitely took its own turn on things.
Yeah. Well, and you kind of had two camps. So you have the camp of oh, everyone's traumatized because it's fashionable to be traumatized.
Right.
And then you have the camp of no, that generation traumatized an entire generation.
Yeah.
And that's why you have all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, I don't think it's fashionable to collect them. And even in the tail end of Gen Z, Gen A, Gen Alpha, whatever.
Well, I mean, think about it. The stigma is so harsh that it wasn't until February that we knew we were both bipolar. It was when Witch Queen dropped. Because I remember we were chilling by.
Yeah, we were doing the story, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Because, it does come with this, harshness of crazy, right? Yeah. And for so long, and especially for you and I, the game has always been to, prove that we're not crazy.
Oh, yeah, no.
And to, disavow that label.
Yeah, it was kind of liberating taking it on.
Right, because it wasn't being used as a weapon.
Right. There was no, look at me attention either.
Yeah.
Because it's not I'm going to tell people.
Right.
But it's nice to know, that you have a reason for the way things are.
Yeah. I don't know. Austin, you're from just below us in the generational ladder, I guess. What do you feel the stigma is within like your peers?
Define stigma.
I guess it could be basically like those preconceptions that are not accurate or over dramatized.
See, I don't like the stigma in the people of my age to this day, which is why I don't like them. I feel like a lot of people nowadays are like too how should I word this without being mean?
Well, you can always word and then reword because that's kind of how we think anyway. Yeah. Like,
yeah, they're always like offended by everything.
Okay. Yeah.
No matter how you approach someone, they're always like, "Oh, this is not okay." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know. But then when I try to explain to them, no, I'm not trying to be like that. Like, I have things too. I get it. It's just that's things you need to be weary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And not a lot of people understand that nowadays, which is why I tend to not worry about it too much with other people.
Yeah.
So I hang out with other older people.
Yeah.
People that are more mature.
Yeah.
Because people my age, like, sure, I'm 18. I'm not fully matured out and fully adulted, right? But I feel like I'm more mature.
Yeah.
Than most.
So it's not like...
Oh, that's... Yeah, for sure.
So it's hard to, like, take into consideration. I don't know.
That just... Sorry, there's like 3 thoughts running around in my head and they're all playing like tag. One was that people are so like easily offended by everything. Mm-hmm. And I think we definitely understand that because there are people who are offended by the way that we choose to deal with our own illness.
Oh, yeah.
So
we've gotten comments and stuff about how we do our podcast.
Well, and like being a mixed kid, the way I identify offends other mixed kids or other people who aren't even mixed kids.
Like you're detracting from them somehow.
Right. Like I've had people tell me because they're like, oh, well, what are you? Or, well, there's like a racial conversation happening. Yeah. And they're like, you can't participate. You're white. And I'm like, excuse me. No, I'm not. But they're like, oh, well, what are you? And I'm like, I'm a mutt. What do you want?
Yeah.
But I've had people be like, you shouldn't call yourself that. It's super demeaning. And I'm like, dude, bro.
That's what I...
No, the only person who can demean you is you.
Yeah.
And I am not demeaning myself. I am a mutt. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, people will always be offended about like, I don't know, how you choose to deal with your own life. Because maybe your own experience of your own illness is not politically correct.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because people need to be able to cope however they need to cope.
Hold your thought.
Okay.
I have to do a sanity check. Make sure that everything's still recording.
Sound.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Whoop.
And OBS. Make sure OBS is recording. Good. I don't know why, but I got really paranoid.
It's all good. It's that like you didn't check it, so it's kind of...
Yeah. Well, I don't want to lose this. I like this conversation. Yes. Good.
But yeah, no, I get that. Yeah. And it's more interesting when you look at things that are, I don't know, like pre-stigmatized, right?
Yeah.
Like autism or mental health categories, I guess. And even a little bit when it comes to like personality disorders. But I don't like to count personality disorders in with mental health because it's not.
Right.
It's not at all the same thing. And it's a train of thought, essentially. I don't know. Where were we in conversation?
We were
talking about the overlap, and then we were talking about stigma.
Yeah.
Right. And we were talking about with like mental, emotional. You don't really, it's not about like collecting the diagnoses. It's more about like minimizing the diagnoses. Yeah. And that's like the expected thing.
And like how being in this category of like mental disorders.
Yeah.
Words. Words. My brain.
Well, I'm trying to think like what all goes in that, because that comes from like neurodivergence. Yeah. That I think is like in that same bucket with like schizophrenia, right? Or like, I think it's just schizophrenia now. I don't think it's schizoaffective anymore.
I don't know.
Because there used to be paranoid. And then
yeah.
schizoaffective, which was like affect. But I think they are one and the same, and it's again a spectrum disorder.
Yeah, well, they're recategorizing it, so
yeah, which always makes things interesting because like the recategorizations, what are we trying to accomplish?
I always feel like they're trying to exclude people.
That's what I was thinking, because like we know that they're recategorizing HEDS or like recategorizing the criteria. Criteria.
We might not be EDSers anymore.
I think do you get grandfathered in if they change the criteria?
Nope. Gotta start fresh.
They'd have to re-diagnose, and no one's going to do that. So we definitely we have HEDS. So but what if I looked for like HEDS redefinition?
I had a question for Austin.
Go for it.
What's up?
My thought was, it's about medication. Like, do you think in the future you'll have to take meds for your bipolarisms?
Probably. Most likely, because I notice when I'm on the bad side of the spectrum and I start to get like all like angry and shit, I can get out of hand, and I don't want it to get too out of hand. So I'm probably gonna have to take it whether I like it or not.
No, so, does it make you feel a way that like you would have to medicate?
No. Kinda.
Yeah, I was wondering because I have to, but
you had a lot more practice though with the like medication side.
Yeah.
Like I think early on it would have felt like defeat, right? To be like, oh, I'm broken and I need to medicate because I'm broken. But now it's like it's an accommodation, yeah.
Yeah.
But I know some people, I don't know, on both ends of the spectrum, right? Like there are people who, what was I trying to say? Sorry. There's like the physical side and the mental emotional side.
Yeah.
And then there's more stigma around the medications on the social emotional side.
Right.
Which is weird because like if you're like, hey, I need this medication to be able to function physically, people are going to be like, oh yeah, why aren't you on meds? You should be on meds. Like, do that. It'll help. But then you come around to like social emotional and then people are like, oh, well, like those antidepressants or blah, blah, blah. Like it all carries a very different stigma. Like it's your, I don't know. I don't want to speak on that though. Like, I think you probably know where I'm going, right? Like,
yeah. I get what you're saying.
It's your fault or responsibility that you would need to medicate.
Right. Like it's weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Poise.
I mean, that's how I used to feel about other meds before. I've never felt that way about my bipolar meds because I was just happy to be treated. But like the defeat thing is huge. Like, I remember being like, I'm only 27 and I need to take all these meds just to, like, function. What's wrong with me? Like, So I definitely get it.
And you struggle, I think, with the meds in general.
Yeah. Well, most of them hate me.
Yeah. Yeah. I was actually talking to my brother-in-law about this a couple days ago, where I was talking about, like, I am extremely lucky when it comes to medication. And like even antidepressants, because they found the right one pretty much right away. And it has worked pretty consistently through. But not everybody has that luxury.
Right.
Like some people, it takes a long time to find the right cocktail of medications.
Right.
And then it's like medication and therapy, and then medication and like life changes or like bad reactions to medications.
Yeah. Austin.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've gotten worse or better in the last 2 years about like your mood swings?
Both.
Okay.
Let me explain. On one side of the spectrum, being the very calm, inducive side, improved a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I can control my thoughts a bit more. I learned to cope with myself. Mm-hmm. However, the more hypergenic and angry side, I feel like has gotten a little bit worse.
Yeah.
I've lost a little bit of control on that since I'm focusing so much on the other side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Which is why, going back to that last question, I think most likely probably I will have to take meds. Because I don't want it to get too far off the edge.
Right.
Yeah. Because when I'm angry, I'm pissed.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask is like, is it different for you with the anger piece, Chris?
Oh, totally. A lot of the anger came from frustration.
Right. Well, and I wondered about that, Austin, is that anger piece just like the emotion overtakes you, or is it, I don't know, how do I word this? Like for a very long time, anything that used to make me upset made me angry.
Right.
Because anger was a safer emotion, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I see where you're going. Sometimes, I can get angry at myself because I'm being upset and I catch myself and I'm like, why am I always upset?
Right.
You know? But sometimes it's just people annoy me. I hate people. Leave me alone, you know?
Yeah.
Yep. I feel that way daily. Just continue on. It's like, oh my God, other people exist.
And when I'm in that I hate people mood, I'm walking very fast. My movements is very like fast and aggressive.
Yeah.
You know? I can like be snappy a lot. Yeah, it's kind of 0 to 100 really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're open to it, like the idea of taking meds.
Yeah.
It's good that you don't need them now, too. Like, if you can push that off as long as you can.
Well, and that's exactly what they're finding is that, like, if we catch these things in teenhood, the first thing we want to do is, like, teach coping skills.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like we talked about with Summer, she was probably close to your age, Austin, and they were like, here's Xanax forever. Oh, your brain is still developing and this is going to screw things up really bad. And now you have no idea what baseline feels like without the Xanax.
Mm-hmm.
Bummer. So, I mean, what we're discovering now is that like teen years and early formative years until the brain is fully developed are like, that's a really good space of time to work on like intrinsic coping, right? Being able to self-soothe and to like manage and all of that piece as opposed to directly on tranquilizers, I guess.
Right.
Because I think there's a difference between like the mood stabilizers and then the tranquilizers.
Oh yeah, they're
like, oh, you have anxiety here, let's knock you out.
Right. Which isn't handling the problem at all.
No.
And that's the kind of thing I don't want.
Right.
Right.
I had a thought and I lost it.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's perfectly fine.
I stole it right out of
Well, I have a question for you, Chris.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I know how I cope with my stuff, but I want to know how you cope with your stuff.
That was going to be my question to you.
Bipolar.
I was going to ask you, like, where you picked up your coping skills. I cope with a lot of grounding techniques and a lot of self-reflection. Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm having an off... Like, it's happened when we play games even. I'll be like, I feel really sad all of a sudden, and I don't get it. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, I'll try and call it out. Mm-hmm. Mainly... Really, it is observation. I can, if I'm feeling a manic mood come on, I'm usually able to like channel it into something.
Yeah.
So I still get the release of whatever residual
but constructive
energy.
and controlled. Yeah.
Exactly. It's not destroying my body and destroying my surroundings.
Or trying to sit still through a manic high, which
is my God,
not good either.
Have you had that happen, Austin, where like you have the manic high, but you can't do anything, so you're just sitting there bouncing off the walls?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. And do you do the leg thing where your leg just bounces?
Oh yeah.
Constantly? Yep. Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh. I learned something so fascinating. So this is something that I had seen around a little bit, but there's a book on it. It's called Waking the Tiger, I think. And it talks about how our like nervous system, the bouncing and the shaking is your body's way of trying to like throw out the tension.
Yeah.
And like every animal does it. Every animal does it. After a moment of tension, the first thing they do is shake it out, right?
Yeah.
Or stretch or whatever it is. And so what they found is that like humans, because we have to be like socially appropriate,
right,
we don't do those things when our nervous system is demanding it. And so it channels itself into things like bouncing and tapping and like rocking.
Oh yeah.
It's so interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it can help to like increase endorphins, and it helps your body to throw out like the muscle tensions. And like your lymphatic system resets. Like it's super, super interesting. But there you go. There's the bouncing. Sorry, I interrupted in the middle of the question. So, Austin, what are some of the coping mechanisms you've picked up?
Not just his mechanisms. I want to know where he got them.
Yeah,
because they're so like developed.
Well, I have a few that I use for different things, right? So when I'm like really upset and I'm overthinking and I'm throwing myself under the bus, I do something that I like, something that makes my brain do something else. My creative mind goes off, which is why I love drawing a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a big artsy person.
He's talented
too.
I want to see.
When I go off on my sketches or whatever, my digital art, it just takes me to somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I can boost myself up and be like, oh, look, I can do stuff. I have things I can do, you know?
Yeah.
When I'm upset with someone, I have a notebook that I keep to myself and don't ever show to anyone else. When I'm upset with someone, I write down everything that I didn't like about what happened, and I just leave it there and I reflect on it.
Sorry, I'm smiling because you're extremely self-aware and like.
That's why we get along so well.
In the like affective needs area, like not a lot of adults are as self-aware as you are, and especially in the like, I can't do anything with this really negative thing. Let me write it down and then we'll come back to it. Like that's. It's just hugely organized of your brain, which is fascinating.
I do similar things, but I do it all internally. I never thought about writing it down. I probably should. That sounds really, really awesome.
Because to me, writing it down, like seeing the words, and actually like focusing on it, I can actually like soothe out about it and like put it together properly, you know?
Yeah, I don't get the catharsis that I would otherwise.
It makes sense because, like, what do we say all the time? It's like nightmares, right? Mm-hmm. And when you're in emotional upheaval, if you can get it out of you.
Oh, shit.
What was I saying? Oh, like we talk about how like emotions fester and like thoughts and feelings and self-talk even festers the more we keep it to ourselves.
Yeah.
And so getting it out of you kind of takes the sting away.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because I've never been good in keeping a lot in my head at once. That's a lot what turns me down.
Yeah.
Is when I have too much going on. Like I'll often like shake my head and I'll be like, I can't. You know?
Like I can't get it out of me.
Projecting it out, writing it down, and just reflecting on it afterwards is just a way to get it out of my head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm sure that makes a huge difference too. Because like for us, we're very like verbal, I guess, with our thinking and emotions and processing. And so generally, like I'll seek you out if I need to like work through something. Because I'm like, I can't not say it out loud, but I have to find the correct person or people.
We forgot to ask the most important question.
What is?
Austin, do you think in words or in concepts?
Like, do you have an internal monologue?
When this is a hard question. Probably, when I'm like thinking and stuff and I have a voice in my head and I imagine it as it being a better version of me talking down to myself. That you should do this, you should do that. Work on this, work on that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. So like for me, I think a lot of my internal communication is like if I was talking to another person.
Yeah.
Kind of. And then I have like, I don't know. I'll be like, it's like holding a toddler's hand sometimes.
Yes.
Where you're like, okay, we're going to co-regulate, but with myself.
Right.
Which I guess
Am I the
makes
only
sense.
one that's from time to time just randomly talks to himself in the mirror?
Oh, no.
Oh, I talk to myself continually. I don't usually talk to myself in the mirror.
That.
Because I guess, oh my God. Oh, here's why I don't talk to myself in the mirror. Because I don't identify with the physical piece.
Right, you're not the body.
Yeah. And so if I wanted to talk to me, I just talk to me in my head or out loud. But like looking in the mirror doesn't help me make a connection with myself because I don't identify with the body.
I've had that.
To me, it feels like it is another person. So to me, it is projecting, you know?
Yeah. That's so interesting. Because, yeah, I don't even think about it as like another person.
Mm-hmm.
The body is just like a thing.
Right.
It's like a car that I drive.
I've had that so extreme to the point where I didn't recognize myself in the mirror. Like
I went through a phase.
Who's that?
Like right after I got out of the parents' house, where I covered all of the mirrors in our apartment because I couldn't stand it. Like I hated it because I was so angry at the body at that point, and I was so angry at like all the stuff that it had been through or taken me through or put me through, and couldn't do it. But no, I talk to myself literally continually, and then if I'm in pain, I sing to myself.
Yes, you do. That's
or to other people. It's ridiculous. It's really stupid because it's always like something dumb. I don't know. Like, where did I put the thing?
Yeah.
But then I'm singing it. Or like singing about how I don't feel good.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm good now.
I do it too.
I just sing to myself.
So, Austin.
Yes.
Where the hell did you pick up your skills?
Oh boy. It's a lot.
If it's too big a story, it's okay. We can move.
No, it's
like, did you find them
I had
intrinsic?
to do a lot with school.
What
I went through school in my younger life with my mom.
Mm.
Because I've always grown up telling myself I don't want to be like my mother.
Right.
That was a lot of my drive as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why would I want to be like this? So that's why I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do this, I don't do that. Because I saw what it could do to you as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how much of a... I'm not going to say bad parent, because I did learn stuff from my mother, obviously.
Right.
But things that you probably shouldn't do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With your children. I'm not going to go too into depth.
No worries.
But I was always had that open mind and was able to like consider what I thought was wrong.
Right.
And built off of that.
Yeah, that's really interesting because I don't know. I think it takes a different kind of self-awareness.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to look at somebody and be like, oh, I do not want to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to do that to people. And I don't want the things that happen to me to happen to others.
Yeah.
Or, like it's a very, I don't know, like there's not another word I can come up with aside from like that self-awareness.
Yeah.
That metacognition. Right?
That's
so the thinking about our own thinking. So, yeah, I guess it would make sense that some of those skills came to be intrinsically, because I think you and I had the same kind of thing where we learned a lot of skills intrinsically.
Yeah.
And then people would try to teach us and we're like, oh yeah, no, we're already doing that.
Been doing that.
Been doing it for my whole life. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't think I had nearly the skills that you have at 18.
No, God, no.
At all. Like I was self-aware, but it was like self-deprecation.
Oh, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, it was very
all
hateful.
Like, yeah, hateful and looking for any excuse or like proof, things to use as proof as to why I couldn't be loved or like wasn't going to be successful or that I was the worst or that was a problem. Yeah. And you, instead of using it to be self-reflective, it was like, let me use my knowledge of myself and self-awareness to injure myself further.
Mm-hmm.
That's just insane, though. It's just insane. I'm just impressed with Austin.
Yeah. No, for sure. I think a lot of people struggle to get anywhere near where you are. And especially at 18.
Right.
When I was 18, I was on fire. That's just how that went.
That's why when I noticed Chris's episodes, I try to be there because I understand.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a lot of crossover.
Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to know. How long ago did you start watching the podcast?
Oh.
Or listening?
Actively, I'm going to say a month and a half ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Actively.
Yeah.
But in the past, I would like watch it here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't missed one in the past months.
Dang. So we put them out every week, and they're long.
I have watched the one that came out this morning.
I know I have to watch that one too.
What was this morning?
Quality check. I think that
PTSD?
one was it's like PTSD and responsibility or something. I don't remember what we titled it. Let's go look.
Great podcast. Let's look at our podcast.
We're gonna look at our podcast on our podcast because
talking about Metacog.
So it's PTSD and healing mental scars.
Yeah.
Which is I really liked this one.
Did you?
I liked the concepts that we talked about.
I don't remember the conversations.
And it was good flow from the one before.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But if you're watching them like back to back, there's a little bit of like crossover where you're like, oh, we just said that, but it was in a different episode, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Shh, it's fine. Yeah, I really liked that one, but I think it can be confronting for people.
We try not to be.
Yeah.
Well, that's impressive.
Just facing it head on can be confronting for people.
Now I'm going to be all self-aware about like recording. I'm like, Austin's going to see it. Don't say anything inappropriate.
Say everything inappropriate all the time forever.
No, I'll still be myself. I'll forget. I'm going to forget in like 10 minutes.
Well, not that you're not yourself with Austin either.
Oh, no, I fake it.
For real?
Oh,
yes. Uh-huh. Nice.
Pretend mood swings.
True you. No.
You do. You really do.
Oh my god.
He's seen me at my weirdest.
Yeah. Yeah.
For real.
That's when Monopoly money flies into the ceiling fans.
Don't cheat at Monopoly and the money doesn't go into the fan.
I was winning, not cheating. You cheated when you destroyed the economy.
Anarchy reigned.
You lit all of the banks on fire.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. But now we're hungry.
Oh my god.
No, it's I was just gonna ask like what your thoughts are on watching Chris grow via the podcast.
That's a weird thought.
Via the podcast.
Yeah. Because you have both views.
That's true. If he's watching.
Well, I see a lot of improvement from all of it in general. You guys have gotten much more professional for sure. I've seen you guys.
Oh yeah.
Your vocabulary has been much better.
Cleaner.
But I appreciate things that you guys do and the awareness that you guys give out. That's why I love watching podcasts so much. Because I can relate. I can understand other people. It makes me understand the disabilities that I do not have.
Yeah.
And it just keeps me open-minded, right?
Yeah. Well, I think there's something to be said about exposure. Like,
yeah.
And that's really what we wanted to do from the start was like, we're all suffering, but we're all hiding it. So maybe let's make it not so hidden anymore.
Yeah.
And see what happens and
like
who
Ruth
we can relate
she
to.
found her people.
Yeah.
Like we're getting people that need it.
Yeah. Which is still just so weird because I'm like, guys, I'm a hot mess and I don't know why you're here.
It's because you're a hot mess.
Because I'm a hot mess.
It's like watching a sinking ship. Just watch her slowly burn and sink into the depths.
The depths of insanity.
Every week he pushes me just a little further. I'm just nudging her closer
and then
and closer.
He beats me.
I don't. It's the other way around. She's always so mean to me.
Jen beats you. I beat you. You know what? Is there anyone who's not beating you?
I beat him in game.
Austin beats you. You thought you were safe, and now look what's happening.
Look, my DPS is not bad, okay? Just because you got the catalyst doesn't make you better than me.
I'm just built different, okay?
Fine.
You have to get my husband playing with you guys.
Yeah.
He would enjoy that, I think.
I'm so down.
And he's funny. He's, I don't even know. Is there a description for my husband?
I like Randy.
I said a description, not a...
That's just, I don't know. General vibes.
He is kind of cool. I mean, I've kept him this long,
Yeah.
so I guess he can stay.
And since like everyone's leaving our clan, it's perfectly fine to play with Randy.
There you go. Beautiful. Now, I do have a question. Are there any topics that you would like to see us address more?
Oh yeah.
Or more in depth? Or at all?
Ooh, damn, there's a lot that I could go.
Throw them out there. I'll make a list.
I'm just gonna give you guys one thing
Yeah.
that I haven't seen yet, and I'm curious to see how you guys would topic off of that.
Okay.
Not really a disability, but just anger issues in general.
Oh yeah.
It's a good one, actually. It's a really good one.
Yeah.
Because, I think I have a slight bit of anger issues because my mom did.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I have a hard time still understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like just seeing a spark in a conversation of that, I could maybe learn something myself.
Yeah.
You know?
That would be really
No,
interesting.
and I think there's actually a lot of people that could benefit from that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, because, I mean, everybody uses anger differently, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, for me, it's always been, like, this protective tool, almost. Because anger was safer than vulnerability or being hurt.
Some people use it as a shield.
Yeah, it's like my armor that I carried around for a long time. Yeah. And then other people, it's like this flash response, right? Where they've blown up before... Yeah. They've blown up before they even knew they were blowing up.
Been there.
And then there's a lot of aspects of like shame associated.
Yep.
Because once you've had that angry outburst, you're like, well, shit, I just burned it all down.
Write it down.
The shame. Yeah. Well, and this is what I talk about a lot with my students is like when I'm talking to other teachers is that like every interaction has to be a brand new interaction because when those kids blow up at you, like they remember and they're hoping that you forgive them and they can move forward with life. Right. But if they walk into your room after a big blowout and you're like, well, look who's back.
Yeah, you're going to lose them.
Activating that shame all over again.
Yep.
So, yeah, no, that's interesting.
That's a good topic, Austin. I think I'll keep you. You've passed the test.
Hey, you.
I don't think I have a choice in it. As far as I'm concerned.
I adopted him.
This is bad. He plans on keeping me.
You know what? I've adopted you already, so
she adopted you early on too. She was like sibling right off the bat.
Yep, I was like, that one's ours. We're keeping him.
Smile.
Got to get those family portraits done eventually. You know,
really bad Photoshop.
I'm coming down at one point.
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah, that would be so
fun.
We'll have a fun time.
I think by next year.
Hell yeah, that'd be great.
I think it's doable.
We need to get our Canadian folk out here.
Yeah,
Morgan. I'm sure there's others.
Oh yeah,
Canada, with its cool people apparently.
Yeah. Even in our clan, we have a lot of Canadians.
Yeah.
Well, it's like 2, but
that's funny. Well, the time difference is not that huge, right? It's only like 3 hours.
He's 2.
2 hours. Oh, that's not that bad.
2 hours in edge, yeah.
Okay.
It's like he lives in the future. What's it like in the future?
Pain.
Oh.
Oh, that's gonna suck.
Good. Great.
Glad I asked.
I saw the forecast and I'm staying inside.
Forecast is pain.
It's pain. Cloudy with a chance of pain. Meatballs with the side of pain. Yeah. That's, I really like that, actually.
Yeah.
Anger issues and the shame associated. Are there other aspects around the anger issues that you would like us to talk about or tackle?
She's just...
How people control them, maybe?
What do you call it? Coping and control.
Like stress relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, because I know people with anger issues. Lots of people with anger issues.
I mean, even if you think you have anger issues, you still handle it pretty well.
Well, it's not super
Maybe
uncommon.
when I'm alone, but when I'm around multiple people and I get angry, it could get out of hand.
Well, yeah, you've been removing yourself from the situation, though, right? Like, you'll see it, and then...
Like, I'll go and just take a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? But, like, often I'll, like, punch a wall, punch a door. You know?
I've done that. I've destroyed a few doors in my day.
You and Bug broke your hands in the exact same spot.
We got magic bro scars. You can't see it on
punching
here.
dumb things.
Punching wall.
What the
that wall ate it.
It ate your fist, just nom nom nom.
Oh boy. And it was a
knuckle sandwich.
It was a stuccoed wall, the outside. Yeah, and I
just like had pebbles in your skin at that point.
Yeah, no, I punched the shit out of that wall.
Oh god.
Stupid wall should have looked where it was going.
Stupid dog may not have needed to eat your kid. So there's that. Yeah, that's really interesting. I'm trying to like think through how we would
I like it.
Tackle that. I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a good one for sure. Because there's so much to it too, and it serves so many different purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talk about how anger is a secondary emotion, I guess, that kind of is a signal of like a violation in values almost.
Okay.
So when we're looking at like what triggered that anger, usually it comes back to like you've been disrespected, you've been used, you've been like it's a wound to your ego almost, right?
Yeah.
Not always, but there's a lot to it.
There was really a puzzle last night that pissed me the fuck off.
Huh.
Oh my god, dude. That fucking dungeon. Anyways. I was so pissed.
I know. I didn't like it.
It made no sense.
No, it didn't.
I was writing down what we were doing. And it worked half the time, and then it didn't work the rest of the time.
Oh, that's the worst. Pigeon superstition.
Oh god, I was so mad.
It's obnoxious.
I was having fun punching the shit out of those bell keepers, though.
Now, Austin, do you have any questions for us?
How different would you say you guys are compared to, like, I'm gonna say normal people, but, like, I'm gonna put normal people under the tab of not taking meds all the time. I don't have all these disabilities.
Okay. So, like, what kind of different?
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously there's...
of a lifestyle.
Oh, that's a really good one, actually.
That's an amazing question.
Because there's so many aspects to it, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard, too, because there's, like, we're working under the umbrella of lots of different things all at the same time.
I want to say that, like, it's not... if you're on the right medications, it doesn't feel that much different anymore. Like, I don't...
But we also don't have a frame of reference for normal.
Right.
Which makes it really hard to say, like, what the differences are necessarily. Because we've never had a normal. Like, normal for us is very different from normal.
Yeah, but, like, as a teenager, I had a concept of normal that was based on, like, everyone I was around.
Yeah.
And it seems like on the meds, I can do a lot more, and they seem more...
Oh,
see what I'm saying?
You're talking about, like, ability to mask, almost.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the biggest difference, I think, is that we have to mask all the time. We pretend to be well humans. And, like, we do it well and sometimes too well.
Not around Austin.
Well, yeah, that's because he's safe. But you know what I mean? Like, there's points where you're like, I've masked too well, and now I've masked myself into a death hole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you have things like trauma and fatigue and mental health and physical health. And I think one of the biggest differences for me that I have like been able to solidly name is that it takes us a lot more effort and energy to do normal people stuff. Right?
Good save.
Thanks. I'm trying. I really am. And that part is hard too, because not everybody, like, people don't see the effort it takes to do the same things other people are doing naturally. And that's really hard because you're like, I want someone to give me a sticker because this is hard.
What about like a ribbon?
I don't want a ribbon.
Why? Ribbons are a sash? Get you a big sash?
Maybe.
Sticker sash.
I could take a sash.
Yeah, we could put like little like Girl Scout stamps or patches.
Patches, yes.
You can earn medals.
Oh my God.
Didn't blow up today. I survived another day. Achievement unlocked.
No
I'm still
bad
doing
self-talking.
it. Yeah.
No bad self-talk. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, dang. But yeah, I think it's a lot more energy output. And then we don't have, it's not, we're already not starting with a full deck when it comes to energy. Right?
Yeah.
So other people might have that 12 spoon count starting the day. But for us, because we're always in spoon debt, we're probably starting with more like 6 or 8 at best. And then from there, it's a matter of like spoon budgeting and then overdoing it and borrowing from the next day.
Yeah. I experienced that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Austin's seen it. I try and stay up and do things and be active, and I just melt.
Yes.
I turn into a puddle.
Yeah.
Well, and I think we've had to be better self-advocates than other people might. And earlier on, too.
Right.
Where we have to be able to say, like, these are my needs and how I need them met and who I can go to, and fighting with doctors and finding new doctors, and I don't know. Help me out here. How are we different from other people?
How are we different? We're just built different. As
What's
Austin
the
said
biggest
earlier.
difference?
The biggest difference is that I'm killing it and they're not.
Oh.
Yeah, shots fired.
Great.
That's how I'm gonna come off on the podcast from now on. I'm
Oh
just
my
be
God,
a
no.
Giga Chad, be like, yeah, I'm just nailing it.
I'm just the best.
I'm just better at life.
I am the worst.
It's such a big question. Like, I could do a whole episode on how we aren't normal.
Yeah.
Like, what is normal?
Or the illusion of normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because everybody masks.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, is like, who is setting this gold standard for masking?
Yeah.
That we all have
Everyone
to, like,
has a visage of the sort.
participate in. Yeah. Which seems counterproductive if we're talking about, like, a society where people should be able to be, like, social in their society.
Yeah.
But
That's
then
why
we're
building our own.
all hiding from each other at the same time.
Right. So I like the Discord.
Yeah.
People in there just like, today sucked.
Yeah.
I did this. The doctors are being...
They're stupid and awful, and Morgan, it's still making me mad.
Dude, I can't get over it.
It is
Morgan,
still making me angry.
I get like viscerally
that
angry
they
thinking
were,
about it.
Ugh. It's gross.
Like
I
when
don't
Jen
like it.
told me, because she was reading it, I
Yeah.
was like, what
Oh,
the
it was
fuck?
bad.
You want to
I was
talk
like, I
about
can't
anger
believe you.
issues?
God.
I'm gonna go to Canada to have a stern talking with the fucking doctor.
See, and the anger issues fascinates me
Well,
because...
while you're down here,
There you go. Yup. I don't think we were allowed to be angry in childhood. Like, we could feel it, but we had to keep it to ourselves.
yes.
Dude.
Because our anger wasn't ever justifiable.
Yeah, that hits.
And it was wrong to be angry or to act
being
out
selfish.
angrily.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's totally different from other people who, like... I guess there's two different ways that could go. Because you could be like, you've always had anger issues and you always explode. Or you, like, keep it buttoned up. And I guess there's, like, that middle ground where, like, if you have a healthy upbringing with co-regulation and you learn to manage your anger that way.
Yeah.
Because you've had a healthy emotional upbringing, But that's not usually the case. And especially for people with anger issues, it's not usually the case.
Right. I actually was thinking about this with the kids lately, just in general. Just how they can handle their emotions and how we can help them while they're dealing with it. Because Sophie's getting hit hard by puberty. So she's getting the mood swings. And she calls it too. She's like, I'm hormonal today and I hate it. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Well, but the fact that they can identify it is
that is
massive.
Right.
Because it's one thing to like have your emotions happen to you.
Right.
And then it's totally different to be able to like co-pilot with them and be like, oh, I'm feeling away. Here's what I can do, or here's what I can communicate to others around me.
Right.
And I think that's where like that explicit communication comes in. Where
Gotta make a shirt for that.
I know, right? Oh God. Yeah. And without the explicit communication, I think it's harder to process anger appropriately, I guess. Because it's not like, I don't know, and society considers it to be like a wrong feeling. Like it's bad to
it's a
feel
negative,
that way. Yeah. Whereas the more we learn, like emotions are not bad or wrong in any way. It's literally what you do with them that makes the difference. Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. I'm excited to talk about that.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. Anything else you want to get to? You're looking a little faded. Is it time?
They were nice to me and now I can't handle it.
I know. We said nice things. Loser. Do you feel better now?
Yeah, thanks. I needed that.
Thanks. Great.
I love that for you.
Shut your mouth.
I had one, but it's gone now, so.
You do that a lot, Mr. Forgetty.
Because I have not slept in the last 48 hours. Like I got a nap.
I concur.
That's not a good thing. It's nap time.
So the dungeon.
Nap
we had to do the
now
dungeon.
Forever. Oh no, I sang a thing. That's how I feel.
Oh, it's that time,
Aha!
folks.
There we go.
We should call it.
But we can keep chatting. I think it's just time to wrap it up and leave the room. All right, my friends. Thank you so much for coming along with us. Austin, thank you so much for participating today. I learned a lot. I hope you guys learned something or could relate.
Well, thank you for having me. That was great.
Of course, anytime. Like literally, anytime. You want to pop on, do it. Anytime.
We'll make you a little spot on the couch.
All day,
and we'll get you
all
a
night.
webcam so you can just see us.
It'll be like Sheldon bot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'll be right there. We'll put it next to the
RC
bunny.
control.
Like, oh, hey, Austin, what's up? Studio audience.
Live studio audience, I'm telling you. Right now, our studio audience is plushies. There's lots of them.
Because we're psycho.
I mean, you gotta start somewhere, right?
You gotta manifest it. This is our step one.
It's not my fault we let all the people in the basement go, so. Anyway, I think we're gonna call it here, friends. Really great conversation. I'm sure I have a billion more questions.
Oh, totally.
I'm sure it'll come back around, and then we can do more of these, which I think is a lot of fun and really cool to get people on who are not in the state, which is really nice that we can do that. But yes, I think in the meantime, take care of you, take care of others, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.